What's up, YouTube? So we're going to show you the second part of the Xbox Live prototype console. And show you again, that's the one with this little decal here. It looks like the original run-of-the-mill black console, but of course we all know because of the last video, it's a debug, just like that bad boy. So I'm going to show you the boot up and show you some cool stuff that's on the console, and yeah, we'll have some fun with that. So we'll just turn it on here, and it boots up just like a normal Xbox original console would. Excuse me. It takes a second to boot. And there it is. So there's the XDK Launcher. So it has all these different aspects, like these are cool little tools, reset and power. So if I was across the room with the long extension on the controller, I could reset the console or shut it down if I so choose. It's got other things like apps like audio console. That has some more to do with some debugging stuff. It's kind of boring, really. Otherwise, I'd go more into it. Avalanche, which is It's a modified dashboard some people use on their hacked consoles, and it's got some other things like CDX and Dolphin, some homebrew on here as well. This is kind of a cool thing right here is fan speed and chip temps. It'll actually tell you the temperature of your chips, and it'll speed the fan up accordingly if you so choose. You could turn your fan up to 50% or 100% or 64% if you want to. It doesn't matter. You can set it to whatever speed you want to. It's a pretty neat tool, especially if you're going to be playing for a long period of time. You can just run up to 100% and play all night long with no issue. It's got some emulators on here, another sample called Gamepad. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. You know, it's got some more dashboards. Next Gen's another dashboard. PSX, yes, it does have PlayStation on it. And these are all basically the same emulators you can put on any kind of modified Xbox console, except this one does not take any effort at all to do. It's kind of like a pre-soft mod. Essentially, is what an XDK really is kind of like. Or in other words, it's kind of like when you soft mod a console, you're basically turning it into an XDK in a sense. But this will do kernel debugging as well. So another thing that's kind of interesting is that you can't run unsigned XBEs on a debug console without further modifying it. There's a special software that it does exist out there. It's kind of hard to find currently. But it does exist, and you place it into certain parts of the hard drive on through the console through different programs, and it will allow it to play unsigned XBE. Now, what that is, XBE is the extension that an original Xbox will play, whereas most of these profiles here, like these samples, are they're signed XBE, but they're signed for a debug kit. So I had to alter that a little bit so it'll play some of these emulators and some of these homebrew games. It still will not play a disc, but it'll do this. And let me show you what the retail dashboard looks like. We'll go to that. And it'll take a second here. It'll boot up, and it looks just like the regular retail dash, except it doesn't have a blade for Xbox Live. I don't know why that is. Another cool thing, too, is that if you can see my hand here, I'm pushing the black button, it turns it into like a skeleton. As long as I hold this button down, it turns all of this kind of see-through so you can see the structure of all the animations and stuff like that. So I can push this and go into music, and it shows you the entire structure of the music too. So that's pretty much it. My phone's about to die, so I have to kind of cut this a little short. But again, that was the Xbox Live prototype debug console in black shell, and that's the dashboard for it. So enjoy. Thanks, YouTube.